next to your mat. And we will start in a full body stretch. So as you come down, take a moment to situate your hips level. And as you reach with your arms, let your palms face each other. You can elevate your chin. And start to point and flex through the bottom of your feet. And then we're just going to relax our hands with our palms facing down and step your feet to the earth. And we'll let the knees sway from side to side. And as your knees are moving from side to side, you might move your head from side to side. And once you come back to center there, let's just cross the left ankle over the top of the right knee and move from side to side. You might allow the bottom of your left foot to touch the ground, the top of the left knee to touch the ground. All right, so just tipping over deeply to one side, and as you return deeply to the other side. And start now thinking about opening the left hip. So you can draw the left knee away from the body as you're rocking from side to side. And the next time that you tip yourself over to the right side, we'll just rest that left foot and reach with the left arm overhead. Again, working that left hip open. And then returning your left hand back down, we'll bring the knee back to center. Let's just uncross and recross. So right ankle over the left knee. Start by swaying from side to side. Roll into the outer edges of the hips. Again, maybe lightly tapping the knee and lightly tapping the foot. And then as you make your way back to center there, we'll take our time, shift yourself back over to that left side and invite your right arm to reach. Again, try and let the right knee open more. And once you release your right hand, we'll bring that foot back to the earth and the knee back. And then we'll just sway from side to side. And then let's draw the right knee in towards the belly. See if you can give it a really tight squeeze. And then stepping your right foot to the earth, we'll pull the left knee in and give the left knee a tight squeeze. just going to take that left ankle and cross it over the right knee again, but then invite your ankle closer to your hip. So we want to find that right in the crease of the hip. If you can't make it all the way, just gradually bringing it down a little closer to the hip. We're going to let that left knee open again, and from there, just continue to hold your foot. So it might be here, you might get it into the crease of the hip. We're going to extend the right leg out and let the left knee drop forward, opening the left hip. You might flex the bottom of your right foot, so toes to the sky. Just breathing there. If that feels okay for you, take a moment, reach with your left hand, start to elongate that left side again. And then as the left hand comes down, we're going to step the right foot back to the earth. Release the left leg all the way out. And then release the right leg all the way out. Full body stretch. Inhale. Feel the rise of your lungs. And then exhale, press your low back. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, press. Once more, big breath, reach. And exhale, press. From there, we're going to bring the hands back down, step your feet to the earth. As the right ankle crosses, try and slide the right ankle to the crease of your hip. And then, opening up the right knee, we're holding that right foot with your left hand. From there, start to extend your left leg out, letting the right knee drop open. Don't worry about how far, just doing your best, breathing there. Once your body starts to understand that, reach with your right arm. Lengthen from the right side. Flexing the left shin bone, so left toes to the sky. And then the right hand comes down and we elevate the knee, step your left foot back, release your right leg, release your left leg, full body stretch. All right, let's see if we can find that strap. So you can start with your left foot on the ground. We're gonna open the strap up. If you have a really long strap, you can just fold it in half, so that as we're moving that strap from side to side, it's not touching the earth too much. We're gonna bend the knee, put the strap on the bottom of your right foot, join the 2 sides of the strap together, and then grab the strap with your right hand. Once you do that, turn your toes towards your right shoulder. So we're rotating from our right hip, and then drawing the toes towards the right shoulder. Just breathing there. You can micro bend your right elbow. If you would like, you can extend your left leg out. Think about rooting at the very top of your left hip. Left hand can be on your hip. And then as you bring that foot back to center, we're going to turn the toes towards the left shoulder. Take the hold of the strap in your left hand and then draw that towards your left shoulder. So not too far over to the left. We're really just reaching towards the left shoulder. And make sure that you have that internal rotation from your right hip socket. handing that strap back to the right hand, take your leg out to the right side, any degree of extension outward. You can take your left hand out to the left side and just breathe there. Keep your hips level with each other. So try not to lift up your left hip too much. Keep pushing through the bottom of the right foot, the ball of the foot, to activate an extension from your right hip socket. And then we bring that right leg back to center. From here, you're going to separate your straps from each other. Try and elevate your head and bring your forehead towards your shin bone. And then release, unhook your strap, take a full body stretch. You can hold that strap as you reach. And we'll step our right foot to the earth. Let's open up that strap, place it on the bottom of your left foot, and send your left foot to the sky. As you clasp that strap with just your left hand, turn your toes towards your left shoulder, and then bring that towards your left shoulder. Right arm is reaching out to the side. If you feel comfortable, you can extend your right leg out. Maybe using the right hand to help you remind you to root through the right hip socket from the very top of the hip. Don't focus so much on the knee. And then bringing the leg back, we turn the toes towards the right shoulder. Start to draw the left leg towards the right shoulder, releasing the left hand out. Level with both hips. And then back to center. Place that hand in, strap on your left hand, and we'll extend our right arm out. Take your leg all the way over to the left side. Keep extending and reaching through the right leg. Keep reaching by pushing through the ball of the left foot. Take 5 to 6 slow breaths. And then inhale, we'll bring that back to center. Open up your strap, elevate your forehead, drawing yourself towards your left shin bone. And then release your head, release your strap. We're going to go ahead and cross our ankles from here and roll up to seated. Once you cross your legs, we're going to take the strap over our right shoulder. And once you place it over your right shoulder, you're going to reach with your left hand to the sky. From there, you're going to take hold of that strap. Once you find your strap, you can toss the rest of it back. We're going to reach our right arm straight out. Internally rotate the thumb so your palm is facing back and your thumb is down. And then reach around to the back, clasping your strap and breathing there. Elevate your chin. Feel yourself holding onto that strap. over our left shoulder, release your right hand reaches up. Once you bend your right elbow, clasp that strap, hand the strap to that hand, and then take your left arm straight out. We're turning the thumb down, palm backwards. As we reach back, clasp that strap with your left arm, keep your elbow upward, and elevate your chin. Good, extending the right arm up, releasing your left hand out. Let's just set our strap off to the side for now. And once you set it off to the side, we're gonna come back to the right arm reaching. Internally rotate again with your thumb. So thumb is down, palm is back. As you take your hand around to your back, you're gonna place your palm right in the center of your back. From there, you're gonna go ahead and clasp, if you can, your forearm or your elbow, and then give yourself a nice tight hug. You might squeeze in even closer, right? And then exhale, just move your chin down and then move your chin up and back. Good, and then releasing the left hand, releasing the right arm. We'll do the same thing on the left side. Gonna internally rotate, draw that hand to the center of your back, and then as you call it over, we go ahead and reach for the right, with the right hand to the elbow, and just breathe there. And you might move your head side to side this time. If that felt good to move up and down, you can come back to moving it up and down. And then release your right arm and release your left arm. From here, we're gonna go ahead and move forward to hands and knees. And once you arrive in hands and knees, let's just move forward and back. And we'll make our way to our first downward facing dog. So you can tuck your toes and lift your hips up and back. Let's move the head again. Just notice some natural movement of the neck and some natural movement of the upper portion of your shoulders. There might be a little movement forward and back, exploring a stretch through the shin or the calf. Just feel yourself little rocking movements. And then alternate some bending of your knees, letting the hips sway from side to side, feeling heavy. Keep those palms pressing firmly into the earth. And we'll make our way to a half downward facing dog. So once the knees rest, we're gonna walk our hands forward and start to drop your chin and your forehead towards the earth as your hips stay high. So we feel the lengthened spine. We feel the palms extended and reaching forward. We'll take 3 or 4 breaths here. And then carefully press into your palms, bring your head back. We'll walk our hands back. We'll return back to downward facing dog. So plant those palms, lift your hips up and back. Move your head forward and back again. Find that rocking motion again, forward and back. And pedaling out the knees and feet, just moving the shins and the calves. All right, and then we're just gonna step forward with our right foot. Drop your left knee down. Using your fingers here, start to lunge forward and back. And the next time that your knee and ankle are in line with each other, just reach your hands straight up to the sky. Clasp your elbows and tone your belly. Feel that rise and lengthening of the left quad. Keep your chin elevated. And we'll lunge a little deeper. Release the hands out and open. We're gonna push our palms back, interlace your fingers, and open up your shoulders. And then pushing off the right foot, we'll sweep our hands back up to the sky. Take your fingertips down to the ground, tuck your left toes. Let's step back to downward facing dog. Maybe some more movement forward and back, or pedaling out the feet again. Noticing the stretch of the shins and calves. You can move your head a little bit. And when you're ready, we'll step forward with our left foot. Right knee drops down. Arms reach back up to the sky. Clasp your elbows again, and then change the crossing. So once you change that crossing, keep that lift and elevation of the arms. Elevate your chin. Feel that length along the right side. Breathing in and out. And then arms reach up, exhale. We're gonna interlace our fingers behind the back. Once you interlace your fingers, change the interlacing. So opposite thumb will be on top. Open up your shoulders, elevate your chin. Draw your navel in. Keep extending and lifting with your hands. And then lunge forward and sweep your hands up. Open your arms up to the sides. Exhale, bring your hands down. Let's shift forward and back with that left knee. All right, and then once you do that, you're just gonna sweep that left knee in. We'll press back for child's pose. From child's pose, roll yourself to your first upward facing dog. From upward facing dog, tuck your toes, lift your hips up for downward facing dog. And then drop down to the knees for a moment. Step forward with your left foot. Once you do that, you're gonna swing your right shin bone in. Take your right hand back until it's in line with your right knee, and we'll extend our left foot out, reaching to the sky. So you're on the length of your mat. We're in a variation of Parigasana, our gate pose. Taking the left hand back towards that left heel, we'll reach it down, start to gaze over to the right side, extending that left side body. Give yourself some space between your left ear and your arm. Maybe take your gaze up towards that left palm. Rooted through the outer edge of your left foot. Keep extending that left side body. And then start to really feel the outer edge of your left foot. We're going to bring our left hand back towards the left foot. Rise yourself up. As you tip yourself over to the left side, we sweep the right hand down in line with that right ear and keep leaning to the left. And then elevate your left toes and turn them straight out, and then just breathe there, keeping yourself up on that heel. And both arms return back to reaching to the sky. You can plant your left foot back down. We're going to bring the hands in front of the knees. So once you're here, we're going to come back to that somewhat downward facing dog. You can shift yourself back, reaching back towards your right heel. If you're comfortable, you could release your right foot entirely and come a little closer to the earth. Keep the spine long and lengthened. Keep the fingers reaching forward. Try and keep the outer edge of your left foot rooted. And then looking forward towards your palms, we're going to rise ourselves back up. We're going to take the right hand out to the side, thread underneath your left arm, see if you can come down to the right shoulder. From there, you may decide to stack your palms, interlace your fingers, and reach. Otherwise, just continue to use your left hand to support as your right arm threads through that space. And then reaching your left hand to the sky, look up towards your left palm. Returning your left hand back to the earth, unwind your pose. From there, just simply bring your left knee in. We're going to stay length on the mat. We're going to step that right foot out to the side. Carry your left hand now over to the left side of the knee. Once you're there, we reach our right hand up to the sky. Reaching the right hand back towards the right toes. Down, inhale, reach and stretch in line with your right ear. Gazing up towards your right palm. Rooted through the outer edge of the right foot. Find your breath. And then the right arm rises up. We push off that right foot. We're carrying ourselves up and over to the right side. Left arm is in line with your left ear this time. And then bowing forward. Once those hands come down, we're going to go ahead and push ourselves back. You might have your left toes tucked as you push back. Try and take your forehead towards the earth, keeping the outer edge of your right foot rooted. Keep breathing there. And then shift yourself forward back to your palms. Once you're there, rise yourself up, reach your hands to the sky. From here, we're gonna elevate our right heel. Arms are just reaching up. Good, try and balance on that right heel. Beautiful, returning that foot back to the earth. Bring your hands back to the earth. This time your left arm sweeps out. We carry it underneath the right, reaching through. Once you come down to your left shoulder, maybe stack your right palm on top of your left, interlace your fingers, and breathe there. Continue to reach through that space. So we want to feel our spine twisting here. Especially the outer edge of the left arm. We want to feel the inside of the left side scapula, your shoulder blade stretching. Work on rooting the outer edge of your right foot. And then reaching to the sky with your right hand, gazing upward for a few breaths. Right arm returns, we lift ourselves back up. From here, we're just gonna walk back to the front of the mat and invite your right knee. Take your knees hip width distance, feet hip width distance, shift yourself up and back for downward facing dog. And then from there, we're gonna look forward to the front of the mat, and drop down to the knees. Once you drop down to the knees, you're gonna press back for child's pose. We'll move back to that upward facing dog, Bhujangasana. From Bhujangasana, lower yourself to the earth. Let's tuck our toes here, lift right up to plank pose. Staying here for 3 breaths. Try and draw your belly in for a moment. Feel your heels reach back. Feel the fingertips pressing into the earth. And then up and back for downward facing dog. Stepping behind your hands with your feet. So right foot forward, left foot forward, your feet are wide. Clasp your elbows here and hang heavy. Exhaling through your mouth. Tuck your elbows behind your head, still clasping your elbows. Push into your feet, rise yourself up to standing. Arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, press your hands down. Let's come back to finding that strap. Once you find your strap, we're gonna make sure that it's open all the way. And see if you can take your hands a little bit wider than your shoulders. From there, we're gonna inhale and take that strap up to the sky. I'll give you a moment to find that space. Once you rise up and your arms are reaching outward, sort of stretch your strap. And then exhale, we're gonna take that strap back and down. And then an inhale as we bring that strap back and up. We'll travel all the way to the front of the mat. So you'll notice, do you need to take your hands wider or can you take your arms closer? It's an inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, look down, arms down. Move slowly, keep your arms straight. Exhale back to front. Think about as you rise, you lift from your shoulder blades and then you reach back. Same thing the return. Reaching back, lift from your shoulder blades and bring it forward. Use your breath, do that just a few more times. Try and keep your elbows extended. Try not to bend your arms. Try to use both arms at the same time. Don't let one overpower the other. Move slow enough to experience and feel that rotation of the shoulder and that stretch of your pectoral muscles. Again, chin down when the strap is down, gazing up when the strap is up. Chin down when the strap is down, gazing up when the strap is up. Try 3 more cycles. Again, really straight arms. Just do one more. And then you can just fold your strap and place it off to the side. Once you place it off the side, we're going to go ahead and walk our feet all the way together. And we're going to move through a classical sun salutation. So feet all the way together, palms together, we reach up and look up. Exhale, you come to forward fold. Your right foot actually steps back, we drop the knee. Inhale, arms reach up for a low lunge. Exhale, hands come down, we press back for child's pose, taking a nice stretch in Balasana. From Balasana, we roll to upward facing dog. Tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing here, 5 breaths. And then drop down to your knees. We step forward with our right foot. Once you step forward with your right foot, your arms reach up, big breath. Exhale, hands come down to the ground. We step all the way back to the front of the mat. Take a halfway gaze, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, palms together, let's reach up. Exhale, press your palms back down. So as you're moving through a classical sun salutation, you alternate. So this time, palms together, we reach up. Exhale, we come to forward fold. Gaze and lengthen. Left foot steps back this time. We drop the knee, arms reach up. Exhale, hands come down. Press back for child's pose. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take 5 breaths. And then drop down to the knees and step forward with your left foot. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands come back down. Step forward with your right foot. Take a halfway gaze. Exhale, forward fold. Rise to standing, arms reach up. Exhale, hands come down. Let's do that a few more times with less downward facing dog breath. Big breath, reach up. Exhale, come to forward fold. Inhale, look out, fingertips. Step back with your right foot. Right knee drops, inhale, arms reach up, palms together. Exhale, palms come down. Press back, child's pose. Move forward, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Drop down to the knees. Inhale, step forward with your right foot. Arms reach up. Exhale, hands come down. Step forward with your left foot. Inhale, halfway gaze. Exhale, forward fold. Palms together, reach up. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, palms together, reach up. Exhale, hands come down. Step back with your left foot, drop your left knee. Arms reach up, big breath. Exhale, hands come down. Child's pose. Exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, drop down to the knees. Step forward with your left foot. Arms reach up, big breath. Exhale, hands come down. Step forward with your right foot. Halfway gaze. Exhale, forward fold. Rising to standing, arms reach up. And exhale, hands come down. So you can just move through this if you're practicing sun salutations at home. Just breathing in, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold. If your right foot steps back first, you drop it down. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands come down, child's pose. Then you'll know later on the right foot still leads. We come to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So right foot's still gonna lead. We come back to the knees. Right foot steps forward. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands come down. Step forward with your left foot. Halfway gaze. Exhale, forward fold. Both hands reach up. Hands come down. This time left foot leads. Arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Left foot steps back. Drop the knee, arms reach up. Exhale, come to child's pose. Stretch back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Drop back down to the knees. Left foot steps forward. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands come down. Step forward with your right foot. Halfway gaze. Exhale, forward fold. Palms reach up. Exhale, hands come down. Let's take a little break. You can hop your feet together. Bring your hands together before your heart. Spread your toes. Feel your feet. Root your toes one by one. Relax your hands to the sides. This is called Samasthiti or Tadasana. Nice uprightness to the spine. Slow down your breath. Right, so deepen it. All right, when you're ready, palms together, reach up. Exhale, come to forward fold. Inhale, look up. Step back for plank pose and lower. Upward facing dog. Make your way to downward facing dog. And we'll take 5 breaths here. Right leg reaches high. We're going to bring the right knee forward like we're making our way to pigeon pose, but then invite your left knee behind it. Once you do that, you can come down to your forearms, just breathing there. Alright, and then gaze forward and see if you can shift back to your palms. So you're either going to do cat-cows here and just stretch out your shoulders and move your spine. If you can hinge back and rise to the tops of the knees, you're going to rise to the tops of the knees. We push our pelvis forward, opening up the front of the pelvis. Once you do that, if you can, reach your hands up to the sky. Just breathing there, moving through that space. And then exhale, your hands come out. We hinge back into the hips, palms come back. Let's bring the right knee forward. As you stack your knees next to each other, just take a child's pose. And then rising up to tabletop, tuck your toes. Let's come back to downward facing dog. When you're ready, left leg high. We bring our left knee forward like we're traveling towards pigeon pose. Right knee behind it. Come down to your forearms and breathe. And then returning back to your palms from here. Again, you might decide you're just going to stay here and do cat-cows, and that's okay too. Otherwise, hinge in your hips, and as as you push your pelvis forward, we rise to the tops of the knees. Continue to move forward, and then reach with your hands to the sky. Gazing up towards your palms, palms can be joined, or hands reaching with all fingers together, just gazing up. And then hands out, we give ourselves a hinge in our hips, palms come back down, unwind, knees stacked next to each other, press back child's pose. Child's pose to upward facing dog. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Let's take 5 breaths. All right, we're gonna take our right foot, we're gonna step it forward to the front of the mat. From there, you're gonna stretch back and try to root both of your heels. So if you need to nudge your left foot forward a little bit, that's okay. From there, we're gonna press down into our feet and rise to standing. Arms reach up from that space. And then as you exhale, you're gonna take your palms back. Choose 2 options here. We can internally rotate, pointing that right thumb down, bring it around and clasp your elbows. You might decide that that's where you wanna be today. Otherwise, as you internally rotate, we internally rotate with both of our thumbs. Bring your palms together by pressing your fingers in the middle of your back. As you do that, we slide, prayer pose up the back, press the shoulders down away from the ears, and this is our reverse namaskara. So choosing one of those 2 variations for your hands, and we'll take 3 breaths. From there, keep your arms as they are. Begin to exhale, come to forward fold. Gazing out, return. Release your hands. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands come out to the sides. Step forward. Take a breath, reset with your hands at heart. Take time, step back. It's a narrow stance with your right foot. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands come out. If you did reverse namaskara, this time just clasp your elbows. If you clasped your elbows last time, change the crossing. Nice inhale, lift your chin, take 3 breaths. And then exhale, guiding yourself forward, chin to shin pose. And we look up and come back up. Release your hands, arms reach up. Exhale, hands out to the side, step forward to the front of the mat. Let's take our feet about the distance of our mat. Once you do that, give your big toes a little internal rotation. Reach your hands up overhead to the sky. As you take your hands out, we're gonna turn those thumbs down again. Interlace our fingers behind the back. Open up your shoulders. From here, give yourself a little micro bend in your knees. Start to travel forward, reaching your hands up to the sky. Once you find that, bend your elbows, press your palms into your back, and then think about your elbows reaching to the sky like a butterfly or dragonfly wings. And then keeping your elbows pushing together, we rise back up. Keep those palms pressing into the mid-back. All right, we're gonna see if we can shift our weight over to our left foot. Step back with your right foot. Drop your right knee down. Breathing there. And then drop your left knee down. Take your forehead to the ground. Release your hands and let your palms face down. From here, you're gonna tuck your toes. We're clasping our heels with our hands. As you draw your forehead closer to the knees, we're in rabbit pose. We start to roll towards the back of the head or the top of the head and stretch those shoulders and mid-back. So think of a cat-like bag. Top of your head is towards the earth. Hands are holding your heels, stretching through the arms and shoulders. Draw your navel inward towards your spine. Keep rounding your spine as much as you can. And then rolling back to your forehead, we'll rise up to the tops of the knees. Inhale, big breath, arms reach up. Let's make our way to tabletop from there. Stretching your right leg back, elevate your right heel, and point your toes towards the ground. Keep reaching and stretching. Let's see if we can bring the right knee to the right elbow. And then stretch it back. See if you can bring your right knee to your left elbow. And stretch it back. See if you can bring your right knee to your forehead. And stretch it back. Invite your right knee back to center. Left leg reaching. Keep those toes lifted. Left knee to left elbow. Really squeeze, keep that lift. There's no rush. Extend it back. Left knee to right elbow. And reach it back. Left knee to forehead. And reach it back. Left knee meets the right knee. Let's press back for child's pose. And then from here, we're going to move to upward facing dog. And once you move to upward facing dog, we'll lower ourselves to the earth. Walk your forearms forward. Once you walk your forearms forward, we're sliding our right elbow behind our left elbow. Hands reach out to the sides. Once your elbows are stacked in front of each other, press your palms down and let your head hang towards the earth. So we're just really heavy in the shoulders. And then notice your right elbow's behind. We unwind the right elbow, take it in front of your left. Again, relax your head towards your shoulders. Just hanging heavy between the shoulders, towards those elbows. Really heavy through your palms. Relax the abdomen, relax your belly. And then slowly lift your gaze. Let's unwind our arms by reaching forward for prone. Full body stretch on your belly. From there, see if you can take your knees a bit wider. And then we're just going to press down through the toes. Once you look forward, if your arms are not off of your physical yoga mat, if you're using a physical yoga mat today, try to bring your arms off of your yoga mat because we're going to need the ground to help us with a little bit of slide. Even if it's carpet, it's better than trying to slide on the yoga mat itself. So you're going to walk your hands together. And when I say walk them together, your palms are still down, but your thumbs are touching the ground and the thumbs are also touching each other. We pull our palms back, press into the earth, press your shoulders down. Just breathing there. This is like a seal pose or a sphinx pose. Seal in yin, sphinx pose in traditional hatha yoga. And then see if you can pull your right hand back. And once you pull your right hand back, you're going to straighten that arm, press the shoulder away from the ear. Same thing with the left hand. The left hand moves back, straighten both arms, press your shoulders away from your ear. So you'll notice that the more that we walk our hands back and straighten the arms, we start to elevate, right, and lengthen through the spine. The rib cage is stretching. You might feel this a little bit in your low back. If you do, I want you to really press those big toes down into the ground and think about moving forward while you're pressing the tops of the legs into the earth. Try not to squeeze in your glute muscles. Just feel the length of your legs and feel your rib cage moving forward towards the fingertips. Let's try and stay for 5 more breaths here. Shoulders away from your ears. And then our return is a slow bend in your elbows. Make a pillow with your palms. Relax your forehead. Completely soften your belly so that you can release your low back. And breathe deeply into the bottom of your belly. So starting to oxygenate by expanding your diaphragm into the small of your back. Lift your gaze. We're going to start to bend our right foot. See if you can use your left forearm. So you might come up to your left forearm. Some of you might make a fist to secure a little bit more strength in the forearm. We're going to reach back to the outside of the right ankle and then point your toes away. So you might just work with one side today. If it's comfortable for you, I want you to reach forward with your left arm as you press your right shin back. Otherwise, just keep your right arm supporting you. And if your left arm is reaching, we're just going to bring it back and rise yourself back up, and then we'll release. Right arm is now supporting you. We'll make a fist with the right hand, and you can decide whether you want to reach after we find our clasp. The height of the spine is going to help you to find that left ankle. So we bend the left knee, we reach back. Once you find it, flex your shin bone by pointing your toes away. Keep that forearm pressing as you press your left shin away. It sort of supports the lift of the spine. From there, reach forward. Maybe, or use that forearm to support. Use your breath. And then forearm comes back, and we relax our foot. Let's take another break. Stack your palms on top of each other. Let your forehead rest. Again, try to breathe all the way down to the bottom of your belly. Slowly come back up to your forearms. We're going to come back to that version of Sphinx or Seal. So stretch your palms out. And once you stretch your palms out, you're going to slide those palms in. Press your shoulders down. Keep that height of your spine. Some of you might decide to stay right here. If you would like, we're going to reach back. See if we can find the right ankle. Once you find that, keep that lift. See if you can find your left ankle. Pressing your feet away. Keep that stretch of your shoulders. We'll take 5 breaths. Maybe 2 more. And wherever you are, relax your arms, relax your palms, let your forehead rest, fully relax your legs. Breathing into the bottom of your belly, oxygenating the small of your back, low back and kidneys. Beautiful. Let's make our way to a downward facing dog. So walk your hands next to your ribcage, lift yourself up for a plank, and then stretch those heels back. Try and fill the belly again. Lots of breath there. We want to fill the low back as much as we can too. So no back bend. Draw your navel inward and upward. And then we'll drop down to the knees and we're going to take pigeon on our right side. So as you draw your right knee forward, you're going to bring the right heel in. We're going to stretch our left leg back and you might rise in your pose for a moment. Take your hands out and open. Some of you, since we're doing shoulder openers today, might turn your palms down, interlace your fingers, and stretch your shoulders open. You don't have to, it's just an option. Feel that height and lift of your pelvic floor. On that lift today, keep breathing. And then release your hands and we'll come back to the earth. From there, we're just going to come down to the forearms and settle for maybe 5 or 6 breaths. You're more than welcome to release your forehead towards the earth. And then slowly lift your gaze. We're going to walk those hands back. Tuck your left toes. We'll step back for downward facing dog. You can pedal it out a little bit. Maybe that rocking movement as we begin our practice, just shifting that weight forward and back. The bending of the knees back and forth. Move your hips a little bit. And then we'll take our left knee forward. We're going to start with that rise. So if you decided not to interlace your fingers and you want to just work on lifting, you could use your fingertips here. Right? You might use one fingertip and lift one hand. Otherwise, lifting hands could be at heart. Otherwise, interlace and open. We'll stay for 6 breaths. Good. 2 more. And release your hands. Come back. Extend your right leg. Maybe just down to your forearms. Some of you may decide to rest your forehead. Carefully rising up. Shift your weight over to your left side. Let's just bring our right leg around. We're going to come all the way down to the back and take a nice full body stretch. Arms and legs reaching. You could interlace your fingers if you want. Let those palms face each other. Flex your shin bones. That means toes to the sky as you reach through your heels. Keep your chin elevated. Just calling that wonderful length along the side body. And then as you release your arms, you're going to draw the knees in towards the belly and give your knees a nice squeeze. Try and bring your knees together, ankles together. Again, maybe that flexion of the shin, toes to the sky. It's a great time to start exhaling through your mouth, releasing along the back body, sinking heavily into the earth. You could even sway a little bit from side to side, just massaging the crease of the hip. Mindful movement, noticing what's there from all of that opening of the spine. And then drawing both of your knees over to the right side, we're going to gaze to the left side if you can. Spin your shin bones in line with your knees. You might use your right hand to draw those knees together. See if you can stay for 5 breaths here. And exhalations through the mouth might be useful. Might help you to release. We're slowing down our practice. And then slowly roll to your back. Keep your arms out and just freely rock from side to side with your knees towards your belly. And the next time you rock over to your left side, let your knees settle. You might nudge your shoulders over a little bit. Your gaze can be towards your right palm this time. If you want to use your left hand to draw your knees together, you can. Slowly roll to your back and stretch your legs out wide. Reach your arms overhead, take your hands wide. All right. Heels are wide, toes to the sky. Interlace your fingers, send your knuckles towards your feet, and sit up. Once you do that, reach your hands up to the sky, reach your hands back towards your feet, and lay back down. Take a full body stretch with your arms, reaching with your knuckles interlaced. Exhale, fingers towards your feet. Sit up. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fingers towards your toes. Lay back down. Arms reach long. Let's do that a few more times. Fingers reach towards your feet. Sit up. Inhale, hands reach up. Try and keep your heels down as you're doing this. Try not to lift your heels. Both heels pressing into the earth as you rise. Inhale, reach into those arms. Heels stay down as you lower. Full body stretch. Keep moving a few more times. Use those abdominal muscles. Find that reach and lengthening of the spine, the reach of the legs. Again, keep your toes to the sky. Keep moving, keep breathing. A few more times. It's okay if you're not moving as fast as I am. You can move slowly. Most important is the breath, the length you're bringing to the body, this work of your core muscles. And maybe the next time you come down, you just relax your arms. Let your head move from side to side. And then we're just going to settle here into our final rest. If there's another pose that speaks to you today, maybe butterfly pose, reclined on your back. That would be bringing the bottom of your feet together and letting your knees rest out. Some of you might be working on an inversion in your practice. You might decide to take a shoulder stand or a plow pose, maybe headstand. Inversions come at the end of our practice. I would suggest today only working on something that you've been working on. Don't try something new, only something you've been working on. And otherwise, allow your body to be restful. If you're working on something else today, that is an inverted pose, be mindful of your breath. It would be 10 full breaths, 10 full breaths. Working on something else besides just final rest on your back, start to come back. Making your way fully to your back. So that also means butterfly pose. If you're in butterfly pose, start to take your toes away from each other and extend your legs outward. Everyone relaxing for a moment, deepening your breath. Just thanking yourself for mindful movement this evening. Very carefully move your head from side to side. And take time to move your fingers and your toes. Slowly shifting knees from side to side. And crossing the hands over opposite shoulders. So give yourself a hug, rock from side to side, massage your shoulder blades. Sometimes a little self-love is needed. I feel like, for me, that is the yoga practice. Massaging and hugging from the inside, reminding me to stay open and expand from my heart center. And then once you rock to the right side of your body, we're going to just slowly help ourselves up to a seat. And once you make your way to a seat, you can cross your ankles or stack your feet in front of each other. And we'll join our hands together before the heart. Just bowing to that internal space. I'm thankful for the practice that always serves. We are mindfully connected to our